Some teams, such as the Phillies and Braves, seem to be coming out of their rebuilds with the results they expected. Others, such as the Padres and White Sox, are less than good this season, but are staying the course with a clear eye on the future. Then there are teams whose windows are closed, given roster and division. So, which teams have the most to gain from a quick teardown? Here are 5 more power rankings. Nuno 1 in town as Dodgers fall 5. Texas Rangers. Of the starting pitchers potentially to be on the market this year, Cole Hamels is the most likely to move at the deadline. The ball is entirely in his court. Or glove. Whatever. Hamels has to waive his no-trade clause in order to head to a contender, which some believe could happen. It would relieve the Rangers of having to make a tough decision on his future, with an option year coming up for 2019. Aside from Hamels, the Rangers don't have many pieces to move, as they're in an awkward spot organizationally. They have a farm system that ranks in the bottom third of MLB, and not much big league talent that they'd move, so expect some bad years out of Texas before the Rangers really turn the corner. They lack true major league depth to move some of their bigger bats, so don't expect a lot of action as we approach the deadline. But with Hamels potentially on the market and a team like the Yankees needing pitching, expect a deal to be made. More MLB mock draft. Who will Rangers take? 4. Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are in a tremendously awkward spot this season. Third baseman Josh Donaldson has been on the DL a few times already. Roberto Osuna is going through legal issues regarding domestic violence allegations, and Marcus Stroman was putting up the worst numbers of his career before landing on the disabled list with a bum shoulder. The Blue Jays are a team with a bright future, with third baseman Vlad Guerrero Jr. tearing up Double-A in 2018 and infielder Bo Bichette coming up soon after. So parting with some veteran players now will accelerate the rebuild and have them in contention in the AL East sooner rather than later. Who could go remains the biggest question. A fair amount of the Blue Jays' veteran players are underperforming, and their rotation, while young and talented, hasn't pitched up to snuff this season. If Donaldson returns strong following his DL stint, he could bring back a fair amount of young talent. Letting him walk as a free agent would be a mistake, especially with the heir apparent in Vlad Jr. looming. More Josh Donaldson injury update. Calf injury shelves third baseman 3. San Francisco Giants. Watching the NL West in 2018 is like watching that episode of Seinfeld, when George was caught in the middle of a 2-mile-per-hour motor scooter chase with some old people. The Giants are now 4 games back of the Rockies for first place in the West. The Diamondbacks are continuing their free fall while the Dodgers are showing some signs of life but still under .500. Truth be told, the Giants' moves during the offseason mean they're at least devoted to competing in 2018, but if the division keeps slipping away, it might be in their best interest to part with some of the bigger names on the team. The return of Madison Bumgarner should give the Giants a bit of a boost in the division chase, which is still their best shot at the postseason in 2018. Should they not make any headway heading into the trade deadline, they should blow it up like the Death Star. Whichever one tickles your fancy. See, the NL West is going to be open in the coming years if the Dodgers can't turn it around and develop some quality depth, and the Diamondbacks can't figure out what they want to be. If the Giants can get a haul back for Bumgarner, they still have Johnny Cueto under contract for the foreseeable future. He was having a career year before his injury, and can supplement him with some of the pitching they have on the way up. There's no true foul here. More, could Madison Bumgarner be on the move at the deadline? 2. Kansas City Royals. This is probably coming a year too late for Kansas City, as GM Dayton Moore decided to keep the band together for one last gig in 2017. It was a bold strategy, Cotton, and it didn't work out for them. The Royals finished the 2017 season 2 games under .500 and missed the playoffs. Eric Hosmer and Lorenzo Cain left as free agents, two guys who could have brought back something in return in 2017, but in Moore's defense, it wasn't a particularly hot market for bats in 2017, though that's something that could change this season. There are three big names that the Royals could trade: second baseman Whit Merrifield, catcher Salvador Perez, and third baseman Mike Moustakas. Well, Merrifield would probably fetch a decent haul. Perez and Moustakas are the two that would get a lot. A team looking for catching help could call the Royals for Salvi, but both his contract and the demand back would be hefty price tags. Hey, the Red Sox could use catching help. Keep in mind Dave Dombrowski isn't the type of executive to shy away from money or trading prospects. Just a thought. Moustakas is probably Casey's best trade chip, but there's a catch: he's a free agent after the season. He's putting up the best numbers of his career in his age 29 season, .275 with 11 home runs and a .831 ops, all great numbers for teams that could be looking for some pop at third. Most farm system rankings had the Royals in the bottom 5 when it came to talent, so parting with some of their bigger names should at least help bump that up. Given the state of the AL Central, with the White Sox the only team on the rise that could threaten in the coming years should their talent develop, you can maybe pencil in the Twins, too. A quick rebuild could help the Royals a lot. Letting anyone go to free agency won't benefit them in the slightest. Just see last season. 1. Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles failed to build on any momentum they had after winning 85 or more games in 4 of the past 6 seasons, but sometimes, when a door closes a window opens, and the opportunity to trade Manny Machado with an eye on the future is something that the Orioles should, and probably will, embrace wholeheartedly. The Orioles have arguably the best trade chip of any team on the market in Machado, a free agent after the year. Machado is putting up his best defensive season to date, with a .994 ops, 171 ops, 15 home runs and 44 RBIs. Those are video game numbers. That said, while a Machado trade is enticing for the Orioles, it's hard to see where he goes this season. A team like the White Sox could make a move for him, if they're willing to part with the prospects. Only thing is, making that move is as risky as eating spam, so if the White Sox part with some top talent to land Machado, they better make sure they can re-sign him this offseason. The same can be said about the Cubs, who would likely have to part with their last few decent prospects, not to mention some good major league talent, to land him. St. Louis is the other team rumored to be in the market for a hot corner bat. Would it be worth it for Street Louis, a dark horse contender for a deep playoff run this year, to mortgage its future for a half season of Machado? It's tough to say. Probably not, but the National League looks pretty wide open right now. Machado isn't the only player the Orioles could dangle, either. Zach Britton, sidelined with a ruptured Achilles tendon, is due back in June. Should Britton return and pitch well, a team, maybe Houston, who has had talks with the Orioles regarding Britton in the past, could deal some talent to shore up a bullpen at least through the end of the season.